This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
From
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on Facebook because it's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World and hosted by Joanne Seeger.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's having an incredible morning. I can't believe that Christmas is around the corner.
Less than a week to go.
Yes, and I have to admit, I'm kind of getting super excited. Had some cool things happening last night I'll tell everyone about, but I definitely need the breathing exercise. Oh my gosh, my whole spiel is out the window now.
Oh.
So as all my amazing listeners know, Dr. Ravi is always my guest, and he missed the exit, so I thought I was going to have to think of silly things to fill the time. But look at you. What are you, in a jet?
I got into tune with my music this morning.
Oh,
and
you
exit.
just totally zoned out.
Yep.
Well, Carol told me if you miss this exit, it's 7 miles to
Rio-
Indian
yeah.
Road.
In Rio
So I
Road.
thought I was going to be just talking and talking. I had this whole, fluff to fill in.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having my back.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. It's going on a year now with that
Yes.
line. Okay.
That's a good line for a chiropractor.
It
He's
is,
got
it
your
is.
back. Yeah.
Well, for any newbies listening, welcome to the show. We both really appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. So I always have my friend and my chiropractor with me the third Thursday of each month, Dr. Ravi from Tradition Family Chiropractic. And he's amazing, and he's also full of great healthful information about nutrition as well. So each Thursday, we try to bring you topics that are real and of interest to you and practical knowledge that's affordable and easy to follow. So today's show, we definitely hope goes with those guidelines. We're going to be talking about, go ahead, Dr. Ravi.
The cold and flu.
Cold and flu. Who needs that
I know, right?
information, right?
I think every other patient that comes in has been bombarded with this in the last 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, I know. Poor Jen is at the store, she's misting stuff or coating stuff, and it's really, it's crazy because it's everywhere, and you get nervous. You don't want it to ruin not only your work day but your holiday
Holidays coming up,
plans,
yeah.
and or get anyone else that you know and love sick. And so but I do have to tell you a funny story. So last night was my niece's graduation from college, and they had it at the Fenn Center right down the block here. And there's thousands of people. It was crazy. I literally had to walk a mile, if not longer, to get into the doors.
Wow.
It was crazy. You would think some famous musician was playing. And it was great, but all the people around, are touching the railings to get up on the bleachers, and you hear people coughing and stuff. And Rachel's boyfriend's mom is sitting next to me, and she's like, oh my God, all I could feel is the flu coming towards me. And I'm cracking up because, she's like, I have hand sanitizer in my car. I'm going to douse everyone with it. And I was like, everyone is really scared,
They are.
sincerely scared of this. So I'm hoping after today's show, we give them some really easy, practical information
And
accurate information, and instead of living in the fear. And I have to admit, I kind of got sucked into it myself this morning. Matt was my sisters are in town for the graduation, so it was a wonderful morning, and they were all going out to breakfast. But I chose you, Dr. Ravi. I didn't call in sick. I chose you. And they were going to go pick up Matt's son, but he's not feeling well. And right away, I did get that whole feeling going, wait a sec. You're going to bring him near Elena, and then Elena's going to get sick. And oh my, I really, and then they left, and then I caught myself this is ridiculous. You can't isolate people, you know, in the real world.
Or have that fear.
Yeah, you have to be preventative. And so I did, I got, caught in that, thinking too. So it happens real easy. And really a lot of fear comes into play.
It does. And so I had to put myself on the line just recently with all these patients that some of them, calling in saying they think they're coming down with the flu or the cold. And, with the chiropractic philosophy, when you give it an adjustment, so a chiropractic adjustment in the mid-back region, it actually increases the immune response.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And so interleukin-2 is actually important for making more lymphocytes, leukocytes, which is a white blood cell to help fight inflammation. Right. So we've actually been telling everyone that's been calling in saying if they have the sniffles or the fever to actually come in for their adjustment. And we, take proper protocols. I got to commend
you in that, because I got to be honest, having the infrared sauna, like we actually turned away someone yesterday because they were in full swing of the flu.
Ooh.
And, other people, as well as, we don't want to get sick, but it is inside like this office area. I felt like it was just a little too close for comfort. So I commend you on,
so
being like, come in.
Yeah. Now we tell them come in like when we're off of our shift hours to get their adjustment. So they're not with other patients, that they're coughing or sneezing.
But that's a great idea.
Yeah. And, we take those proper protocols by, always diffusing the thieves. And sometimes like on Monday we use Clorox wipes just in case,
Yep. But periodically,
you're not
like
using
all
it
the
every
time.
day,
Right.
But sometimes that fear does get in.
Yeah.
But just honoring our body's ability to heal. That's the amazing part.
That's super cool. So now, I know that adjustments are amazing and they can just miraculously like make changes immediately. But when someone is in the full swing of a cold or flu, does it take more than one of those adjustments to give them some, ease their symptoms?
Some ease. One adjustment increases that interleukin-2. So I just ask that they do come in and get adjusted. And, I give them protocols for a proper immune system. And so for them to follow up with that and come in once they're feeling
Because I know when
better.
you're not feeling well, it's hard to get out of bed.
It's hard to get those joint aches, muscle aches.
Yeah, you just kind of want to chill in bed with a bowl of soup.
Yes.
So, all right, well, that's awesome to know. So I already love Dr. Ravi now here. He's welcoming people with, the flu to get adjusted.
And you won't be around anyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if I could do that, I would feel more comfortable with that. I just don't want to put anyone in a position where they're getting rolling eyes at them.
Yes.
Like, wait a sec.
Or that burden,
Why are you here?
Yeah.
So that's a good, important step.
So today we're definitely going to be talking about some action steps that people can do. Prevention.
I know that the most important thing with any condition is prevention. It's a lot easier to prevent than to fix it once you got it. So let me put my glasses on so we can actually read notes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we begin, a lot of people say, do I have the cold or is it flu?
Right. Hard to tell the difference.
Hard to
for
tell.
Most.
So one of the big distinguishing thing is the cold comes on slowly. So you'll notice the sniffles, the coughing coming on slowly. Whereas the flu, you just wake up with it. It comes on and hits you hard. The fevers are very rare in a cold. And if you do have a fever with a cold, it's going to be more that low-grade fever. In the flu, you're going to have high-grade fevers. So something like more than 103 degrees and higher.
Exactly.
I get really scared when it's like 106, just being honest.
Yeah.
And
well, it is. It's, we there are some myths about, the brain's frying.
The brain frying,
But it
when
does
your body
feel uncomfortable.
It does, but when your body gets over 105, it starts producing extra type of protein that helps your body eat up that virus.
Yeah. See, that's how I look at it. I look at like this big fire inside the body that's burning everything bad.
Yes.
Like a lot of people fear the fever. I've always loved it. Whenever my children were starting to get a fever, I was actually happy because I looked at like they were getting help that the body needed to kill whatever was brewing in there. And sure enough, if I let their fever spike, they'd be done with it within a day, where if I had subdued their fever, it could linger for a week, if not 10 days.
And they still have that bacteria or virus in them. When it comes to joint aches, you're going to find that more in the individual with the flu.
Yeah.
Muscle aches as well. Headaches, too. You're going to get that more and so with the patient or the person that has the flu. and it's rare in someone that has the cold.
Right. You know what? I have told a lot of my customers that are confused if they have the cold or flu. This is really putting it in a practical sense, but I find that people can normally work with a cold, but not with a flu. So I always tell them on the phone, I'm like, do you feel do you feel like you could get up and go to work? And they're like, oh yeah, you know. And I'm like, okay, so if you had the flu, that's normally not the take on it. You really are wiped out. Like, you know, like you said, you're burning up with a fever. You really feel lethargic and weak, and
Yeah,
the cold.
that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, you know, they don't have thermometers at home or whatever. They're
Yeah.
like, well, my head, I think it's warm, you know. I don't. But with the flu, you're distinctly, you know, weaker and, you know, feverish, and so. But that's a good point. But
Yes.
either way, prevention is almost the same either way, cold
Yeah.
and flu.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is the number one thing for someone that wants to be proactive in knowing that, you know, their neighbor might have the flu or the cold, right? Or their daughter just came home from school with the sniffles.
Gotcha.
What is something that is proactive that you would recommend to a
Well, honestly, and this is really going old school with, you know, just basic nutrition, because when I started my career, it wasn't about supplements, it was about foods. And that was just get them loaded up with especially vitamin C. You know, we overlook vitamin C, but it is in the most healthiest things, especially fruits and vegetables. I love orange bell peppers, the greens, and I supplement the kids with a powder that's amla C powder, because
Amla C?
traditional vitamin C is ascorbic acid. I'm not a big fan of ascorbic acid. It's usually genetically modified corn that it's sourced from. Not a fan. But amla C berry, gooseberry, anything that's food-based vitamin C or food in itself, blueberries, blackberries, all of those good things.
So
What is your favorite vitamin C?
my favorite
foods?
is pomegranates, especially right now.
Except for when they stain your counter.
Exactly. Mine is pomegranates for right now. It's in season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so hard to peel though.
They
But
are
yeah,
a pain in the
yes.
neck. I see all these Facebook devices about quick ways to open
Yes.
up a pomegranate.
I need
I'm
to invest in one
"That
of those."
is so bull. I'm like, it stains everything, you know, but they're so good for you. I get the juice.
Yeah.
I normally never buy juice. All my customers know I preach never touch juice, but pomegranates are so messy. So if you don't have time, if you buy the pure without anything added to it and just do a tiny little bit, you get all the vitamin C and that astringent property of the pomegranate, which is super good for your blood vessels and, you know, your circulation.
Yeah, I'm a big believer we're made to eat.
Yeah.
So those
Yes.
bell peppers.
Oh, and
yeah.
the biggest studies with pomegranates stopping tumor formation in the breast, preventing cancers in general. There's so many
yes.
great clinical studies that got released this year with pomegranates,
Opening
especially
up the blood vessels.
hormonal
Yes.
cancers. Yeah.
Great.
So it's a win-win.
Yes.
Right.
High
Prevention.
vitamin C.
But I have to tell you that I usually don't go along with a lot of the old school philosophies about cold and flus. A lot of them has been disproven. But the washing of the hands, not with antiseptic soap. I have nothing antiseptic in my home or store. But as far as just general washing of the hands, I see how my kids are interacting with kids. They're always touching everything and touching each other and putting their fingers up their noses and in their mouths. And it's so
Coughing. Yeah.
disgusting. It's really gross. So I think basic sanitary practices during this time to be overemphasized. I am definitely not an OCD, you know, germophobic, but this is the time you really want to make sure your children, when they get home from school, the first thing you do is say, okay, grab some soap and water. And that, I'm never normally like that, but during this time, I'm
Yeah.
definitely watching more.
Yeah.
So
What's your take on the antibacterial soaps or
I
the
hate them.
the hand sanitizers?
yeah, so we sell Dr. Bronner's natural hand
Perfect, yeah.
sanitizer that's based on a natural form of lavender. So because tea tree is great for us as humans but not for animals, I don't really promote that in my home for my diffusers. But at the store, being that most of the time we don't have little four-legged visitors, we put frankincense in our diffuser. We put tea tree in the diffuser. We have a Bronner's hand sanitizer that we're constantly misting. Like, for instance, Chris Allison, who's our blood doctor, he was just there on Tuesday, and he had someone that was very sick as one of his patients. So literally after she left, he sprayed even his face because he doesn't want it to go near his nose or any mucosal lining area.
Okay.
I've never really did that. I usually just put in the diffusers. But to answer your question, I will never buy any synthetic-based sanitizers because I think they're more dangerous than helpful. But I do all the natural.
I know, like, one toxic thing in those things is the triclosans that are found in there.
Which was all over the news.
Yes.
And I really thought it was gaining momentum, for the masses to listen. But no one really listened.
Or
and
took it out.
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, they've proven how dangerous it is. So, yeah. I mean, I honestly rather someone take a little pure alcohol out of a rubbing alcohol bottle
and
versus
use that.
Toxic, very dangerous stuff. So, all right. So nutrition. Well, I know we both hate one poisonous food that's the first thing. Even myself, I can be really bad sometimes with my choices. But when I'm feeling a little bit of a sore throat or run down or feeling like I'm going to get something, I always avoid this food group. What do you think it is?
Sugars,
The
yes.
bad white poison powder.
Yep.
And we can't say it enough. I mean, we pretty much bring this up almost every
show.
show. But we're all addicted. We love it, especially this time. Oh, my God. I mean, I literally am waiting with bated breath to make, pies and cookies for
And
Christmas
cakes,
Day.
yes.
I'm like, last night I'm planning with all my nieces and the kids. Okay, this is cookie day. This is pie day. This is make my mother's famous date nut roll day. Yeah. I mean, I just love sugar, but it's so bad.
Yes.
It's so bad.
It is, but I think we need to spoil ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, not every
But not
day.
overdo
Not
it.
every day
Not
at
every
3
day.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yes. That's where it becomes the issue. Yeah.
So would you say if your patient comes in and they struggle with some things on the nutritional level, what would you tell them? Like, okay, that's it. You can't do it right now because you're not feeling well. What would you tell them?
Avoid sugar.
Okay.
Because viruses, bacteria feed off of sugar.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. They love it. Cancer. Oh, love it.
Yeah, and many people think, I have the cold, the flu, I'm going to get a Gatorade or a Powerade. That's the worst thing to get.
It's horrible. If anyone
Yes.
takes anything away from the show, please don't buy those electrolyte drinks thinking, yes, I feel run down, it's going to help me. It wipes out your immune system, synthetic coloring, glucose.
Yes,
it's really
the sugar
bad.
they put in it.
I know, it's like 40 grams. It's crazy.
Yeah, and when you sit down with one bottle of Gatorade, you're not drinking a serving of it.
No.
Right?
I know, it's like 3.5.
Yeah,
depending on, well, now they sell like gallons. Sizes.
Yeah.
Or what's even more deceiving, the powders.
The powders.
Like, the powders, because you're really not, it's like, well, let's just keep putting it in our bottles.
Yes, yeah. So some natural things to take away from that would be just plain filtered water with a little bit of Himalayan salt.
Yes.
That's a great
That would be
electrolyte.
great to get your electrolytes. And if you want to like mask it with some lemon or lime. Now, I love the taste of coconut water. I know some people either have a love-hate relationship, but to me, that's nature's most perfect electrolyte drink. Some people don't enjoy the Himalayan salt water trick like we do, and some people feel like it loosens their bowels. But to me, coconut water can be tasty. It's hydrating. It feels good when you really can't get much down. And if you're nauseous from the flu, it usually doesn't come back up on you, just like how we used to give kids Pedialyte, which is another bad idea. But coconut water, so much better.
Yes.
So definitely good. But there's another food I warn everyone against that I've been pretty much against since I was little, is dairy. I really have them stop dairy. In my mind, even how it looks in nature is like this mucus former like snot ball. I know it's disgusting, but that's how I look at it.
All the words we love.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm very scientific, people, as all my listeners know. But it's so true because, kids, I mean, I'm not particularly fond, my God, of doing too much dairy, but children are. Children love the mac and cheese. They love, just milk and dairy foods and yogurts. And that, to me, is just a lot of sugar. Really processed, homogenized milk products, which really are difficult to digest, and they produce the mucus. So that is
Increases mucus,
probably I probably warn them against that first.
Yeah, so more so for those patients that have that cold or even the flu. Yeah,
Yeah, because
just
sometimes
avoiding
it takes months
dairy.
to get rid of that cough once it starts.
It does, yes.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like the fever will pass, the weakness will pass, but that cough will linger. And I mean, I've heard stories, not only hospitalization, but, broken ribs. It's crazy.
Think of the trauma, coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. If I have it for 2 seconds, I get so uncomfortable. I'm like, got to get rid of this.
Yes.
All right. So we got avoiding sugar. We have avoiding dairy foods. And you mentioned the Himalayan salt in the water, but I want to stress that dehydration is one of the leading problems when you're susceptible. Your mucus lining, it really needs moisture. So when bad guys try to come into your body, it has a better chance of fighting them off. The more moisture you have from water or ginger water or lemon water, these hydration is the key.
It's going to keep it,
hydration.
Yeah,
yes, it's definitely important. Some people, when they're not feeling well, strangely enough, they just don't crave the water. And it's really important that whether you make it into a nice hot tea, like I love buying fresh ginger and making a huge pot of water with just slices of ginger. And it just, not only is it great for your immune system and an anti-inflammatory, but it gives it the flavor,
Do you
the
sweeten it with
flavor.
anything?
I don't, but I have a lot of friends that will take the opportunity to use real, pure, local, raw honey in with the ginger. Luckily, I've done this for so long, I can catch it before I get any real symptoms. So as soon as my throat feels a little tender or I didn't get a good night's sleep and I do just the ginger alone, I can catch it. But yes, if you're already in the throes of the symptoms of a cough or a serious sore throat, the honey will definitely be a benefit. It's the only sugar I ever suggest during this time.
So I used sweet drops. The
stevia.
The drops, and my ginger water. That's I just heat it up on the stove, and it tastes pretty good.
Do you do the original flavor?
The original, yes.
Original flavor. Yeah. So I'm sure all our listeners know about stevia, but just make sure you get a clean brand of stevia that's not full of chemicals or starch. To be honest, I'm trying to remember. I thought they had maltodextrin in theirs, but I'm not positive. But honestly, if someone's going to stop the sugar itself, to have a little maltodextrin in stevia, it's no big deal.
I'll have to look.
It's no big deal. But sometimes organic might not have the weight we wish it did. But when it comes to stevia, I definitely tell people to choose organic. It is almost double in price, but they are saving the integrity of the plant. It's this beautiful green plant that has so many medicinal benefits. But what we're buying in the market now, because of popularity, like everything, once popularity goes up, then all of a sudden
every manufacturer's jumping on that bandwagon.
And all that goes out the window. So they're making it quickly. They're overproducing it. They're not letting it grow as long as they should. They're bleaching it, just like any crop. So just try to buy organic. That would be the first step I would suggest. Because stevia can be great, but I noticed that, oh my God, there's Matt's brother bought us a bag as a gift, and he's like, look, I got this from Amazon, this huge bag of stevia. I am telling you, this powder did not resemble stevia in any way.
And stevia was probably the third ingredient on there.
Well, I don't even know. It was just like, you could tell it was so crystalline, so white. It definitely didn't resemble the plant, in many ways.
So anyone that's baking for Christmas, which I know you are.
Yeah, I'm using real sugar, dude.
Real sugar? Okay.
I'm not going to be in pretense. I
was just going to ask you, should we use a different type of sugar
I
or
had
not?
cake and brownies all year long, and then for Christmas, I'm going to all of a sudden pretend I do stevia. Yeah, these hips didn't come from stevia. But no. So, of course, I'm like 98% of all Americans. Okay, January 1st, the sugar's out the window. I have never bought a bag of sugar for my home, ever. Until Christmas cookie time. I buy one bag, and it literally, I'm bringing it to a home where we have like 40 to 50 people, consuming all the different cakes and cookies and things. So I feel like if for my house I do one bag of sugar one time a year, that's not a big deal.
That's not.
It's not. I'd rather something taste amazing.
Yes, and enjoy that one time.
Yes, and I also believe, and it's hard for me to say this out loud, but there is a thing where there is an association of memories and certain tastes that make us feel good. And
Limbic
us
system.
feeling good really helps our health as well. Like, I'm going to make my mom's, famous, my mom passed like 4 years ago. I'm going to make her famous date roll where she does the dates and the marshmallows, the graham crackers, and the condensed milk. By no means is this healthy. But the memory of my mother making it and all the kids absolutely loving it, to me, outweighs that nutritional damage that we might be doing in that 5 minutes, and I want to pass that recipe on to my daughter.
Yeah.
But again, doing it daily, if I was going to Publix and buying a pound of sugar every week and supporting a very toxic industry, I'd feel terrible and I wouldn't want to do that. But,
At my last workshop, I shared with everyone that the average American consumes 55 pounds of sugar
wow.
a year.
That's huge.
55 pounds.
Wow. So I'm only 1/55th.
One pound? Yeah, right?
1/55th.
Per
All
year,
right, not too bad odds.
that's really good, yeah.
Yeah. So again, it is getting insane out there, the amount there. And
And this
we
is
can go
decreasing the immune system.
Yes.
And leading to us being more vulnerable to that cold or the flu.
Right. And
knocking us off
unfortunately,
from productivity.
most of us aren't, proactive. We're waiting for things to happen to us before we actually consider our health. But I know our listeners are different. And so far we're saying hydrate, avoid sugar as much as humanly possible, and then avoid dairy foods. And you
more
mentioned,
vitamin C.
yes, and of course it's a chiropractor saying, but it makes total sense. If you get this
adjusted.
adjustment and it's going to spike your immune system, a lot better than just, sitting around and waiting for the next symptom to come.
Yeah, or taking
Yeah.
an antipyretic over-the-counter medication.
Exactly. And just a quick question. So if they are coming in and they already have a cold or flu, do they need to tell you that so you adjust the appointment time?
Oh, of course, yes,
okay.
yeah.
All
yeah.
right. So I just thought of that simple detail.
Or if we see someone that's expressing the flu, we'll tell them, hey, come back in
Yeah.
towards the end of our shift.
2 more hours. 2 more hours. Well, we have a caller, Dr. Ravi.
Yes.
Good morning, Dorothy. How are you today?
Good morning. I wanted to ask you about monk fruit.
Oh, that's our favorite
yes.
sweetener. Dr. Ravi and I love monk fruit. It's a little tricky to buy monk fruit pure without any additional sweeteners. Dorothy, I lost you. Can you still hear me?
Hello?
Okay, Dorothy, you can hear me?
Yeah?
Okay, so yes, we love monk fruit. We think it's awesome. And right
I
now,
cannot hear you.
oh, okay, Dorothy, give us a call back, but I will answer it live, and hopefully you can hear it when you hang up.
I'll call you right back. I'm not able to hear
Okay.
you.
Well, that's a first. All right, after all these years. Well, so I'm not sure if she is going to be able to hear this part, but we love monk fruit.
Yes.
Definitely a great. Now, I've never tried it in baking, but if you do go online, there are monk fruit sweetened recipes that you can try. You have to really be careful. It's a cup is not to a cup. You know these things are like 100 times sweeter than sugar.
Oh,
So you have to be
multiple
super careful.
hundreds, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not a good enough baker to do these adjustments. I have to follow a recipe very closely. But the monk fruit, unfortunately, usually has some other sweetener or starch as a flow agent with it. But again, better than sugar. Definitely better than sugar. So definitely look into that. I love it in like green tea.
yes, in the teas
Oh
and the
my God,
coffees.
it's great in those. Really good in those. Nice, no bitterness at the end like sometimes stevia has.
Yeah, that
So definitely
aftertaste.
check out, if you don't like stevia, check out monk fruit, MONK. It's been, around for, I think, over a couple thousand years. Amazing health benefits. It's not been totally
Doesn't cause
destroyed.
glucose rise.
no
so
glucose spikes.
Low on the glycemic
Yeah.
index.
But there is another thing, since we're talking a lot about sweeteners, to keep in mind, whenever your tongue has a sensation of sweetness, your pancreas is getting ready for some sugar. So don't constantly ingest all these sweet things to your tongue. Your body won't be in balance, and it's going to get a little confused about what you're doing to it.
I think Dorothy's back with
Oh,
us.
she's back. Okay, Dorothy, can you hear us now?
Yes, but you know what? If you answer me offline, I'm going to hang up.
Okay, listen on the radio for the answer, okay?
All right.
Okay,
Thanks for
thank
calling, Dorothy. Have a great day. Okay, well, I think we just did.
Yes, let's repeat that.
I'll let you repeat it while I take a sip of water. Go
All right.
for it.
Yeah, so Dorothy, monk fruit is definitely the healthier side of, any type of table sugar. It is very, very sweet, so use very little of it. And like I was saying, it's very low on the glycemic index scale, so it's not going to cause any type of spike in your glucose levels.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it,
That's
right?
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
aware of the type that you're getting. Read the ingredients,
Yeah.
making sure.
And just in general, never give up on the mission to avoid sugar and try natural substitutes. Some of them you might not like, but each brand's concentration is different and what they might mix it with is different. So never just generalize, oh, I don't like that, because I have definitely found that stevia, I've tried 10 brands. They're all completely different. Same thing with monk fruit. It is extremely important that we avoid sugar in our diet. So these are things that are available to us to use for our teas and coffees and baking. So definitely give them
and
a
great
shot.
switch off.
Yeah, great. And they're very affordable. They're not expensive to give them a try.
Yeah, what I tell my
So-
patients is the ones that are trying to come off and decrease their usage of table sugar, regular sugar, or even Splenda, sucralose,
Yeah.
that stuff. It does take some time for their taste buds to get used to that.
Yeah,
So it's a
definitely.
training mechanism. You're going to have to work with
Yeah,
your
just
brain.
like people that are so used to artificially sweetened foods and beverages, they have a difficult time to go natural because they're
Yes.
just so used
Used
to
to
that
that.
tang and that little sharp, taste.
Yeah.
All right.
So when it comes to, so these are some proactive steps, right?
Yep.
But now when it comes to someone that is already experiencing the cold or the flu, you obviously recommend these things still, right?
I do.
Me too.
The most crucial thing is, like I said, most people come in after they're already experiencing the symptoms, and I wish that wasn't so, but that really is the reality of it. So on my counter normally, if not on the employee side of my register, is always elderberry,
Yes.
silver. Like Jen and I pretty much keep in our everyday box these things. I pretty much have elderberry every other day, and the children and Matthew as well.
Nice.
To me, it tastes delicious. It's affordable, and it's proven to fight against the flu virus. So why not?
Yes.
And it's and I did want to put an offer out there for any of my listeners that have never tried D3 or elderberry. There will be a free serving at the store today, free full-size serving, because the gummies, the syrup, and the D3 lozenges are absolutely delicious, and they're children friendly. If you don't like to swallow pills, it's perfect. But these things have proven clinical studies that not only are the prevention of cold and flus, but the shorten the duration of the cold or flu, because some people can be stuck with a cold or flu for almost up to 2 weeks, with sometimes a relapse 3 weeks later. So if you have these supplements, which are so affordable, especially D3, pennies a day, you can definitely vamp up your immune system in a very healthy way. Because I know you go online and they can give you bullet points. Get outside, get some deep breathing, get some sunshine, and that's all well and good. But when you're feeling like junk,
Yeah,
you
you're not getting
really-
off that bed.
You're like you're barely able to text, your significant other, please bring me soup.
Yes.
It's hard. So it's hard to make the right choices sometimes.
Yeah, but at the same time, don't compromise the source. right?
Exactly.
So, what are some good sources what are ones that you use in your store?
As far as the
Like elderberry.
okay, so Garden of
Garden of
Life
Life.
elderberry is really the main one. I mean, I
Yes.
sell Sambucol, which you can get everywhere. All the drugstores have Sambucol. It just, to me, they're using like glucose syrup to sweeten
Yes.
it. And the Garden of Life chewies are actually made outside this country in New Zealand. They really do. It's food-based. They don't put animal gelatin in with them. So
And the
do.
flavoring, like the my kind, the one
Yeah.
the elderberry
Yep.
is actually utilizing fruit
Yes,
to
I
give
know.
you that
and
flavor. That's
which
what I
you kn-
love about
and
it.
that's the whole thing. What a concept
Yes.
to like use something that would actually help your immune system, not hurt it.
Mhm.
Because a lot of these gummies, they put so much artificial colors and syrups with it that actually hamper the immune system, which makes no sense. Just like the CBD world, that's a whole nother
The
topic.
yeah.
But the whole point is, why, if you're trying to vamp up your immune system to fight a cold and flu, would you put in something that's going to bring your immune system down? Never really made much sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, the D3, I have so many different brands of D3. What the one I told Jen to put out a bottle to get ready for this offer. So one of my favorites is a peppermint flavored one. I love the flavor
Ooh.
of peppermint, but it's natural peppermint oil, and it's again simple. You just suck on it, and within 2 minutes it's dissolved. So that's my two favorite. But at home, I've had the gentleman from Mayo Clinic on the show numerous times. I sell a hybrid CR, which is really cool. It's like this little pack. It almost looks like a Z pack, and it's meant for cold and flus. And he was in charge of the transplanting organs with Mayo Clinic as the pharmacist. And he found that there was a few particular herbal ingredients that really vamped up immune systems without causing any other problems or complications. And so that I started carrying his formula 5 years ago. And to be quite honest, as soon as I really know I'm going to experience something that I don't want, I
Yes,
start
you start
taking
taking it.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, I always have backup boxes at my house.
Is it like on
So-
day one you take one?
Yes,
one
exactly.
and
It's a
then-
4-day
okay.
supply. It's a very convenient sleeve. You just pop, 4 pills a day, and 3 pills a day, 4-day supply. It's super affordable. It's like $17,
Okay.
before discounting, and it's just great. I'll bring
Put
you
that in
one
the
so
health
you can
cabinet.
check out.
Yeah, put that in the health cabinet for when
Yes,
you. Yeah.
because the whole thing is, if you wake up at 2:00 in the morning and all of a sudden, you feel your lymphatic system, in your neck region to be swollen and your eyes feel warm,
Throat is itchy.
that is exactly when you want to start taking all your stuff in your pantry. You don't want to sleep another 2 hours and then grab. You take it and then
Yeah.
you go back to bed. So that's really important. And I know that you and I definitely agree. Well, we agree on most things, but what's your take on sleeping for prevention and
Oh yeah,
sickness?
everyone getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, whether
Yeah.
that's going to sleep earlier
Yep.
or waking up later.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
fit
It's
that
so
sleep
critical.
in your schedule.
And I find
That's when your body's
too,
healing.
Yes, some people, because they feel achy, they'll kind of start watching, binge watching, where,
Yes.
and then unfortunately you get that blue light. You're not getting the rest, and your nerves are gonna get fried. It's really critical when you need sleep that you turn off all electronics, you darken your room, and you go to sleep. You don't toss and turn, watching a show or scrolling through your phone. You really need deep REM sleep to heal you.
Yes, and even when you're being reactive and you have that cold or that virus or the flu, you want to fit in more sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why
yes,
the body is
healing.
craving
It's
it.
resting,
Yeah, hours
yes.
and hours. I mean, there's times I remember I would sleep a day straight, just all
12
night
to
and all
16
day.
hours, yeah.
Yes.
The
It's
body needs it.
really, really important. And you know what I find crazy with my body? If I have a bad night's sleep, my throat reacts right away. That's the first thing that says, okay, you pushed it last night, but don't even think about, going without sleep any longer,
Yeah.
and then once I get sleep, then I feel perfect again.
Yes.
So it's kind of
Sleep,
crazy how
that goes
works.
along with the managing
Yeah.
stress.
Dr. Ravi, I love when
The time.
you're with me because, normally every Thursday I take a break right at 10:30 and I'm like, oh my gosh, we totally passed our mid break. Don't even worry about it, Cliff. We're good. We got this. Who needs
So
breaks?
yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God.
So
this is
it's sleep
awesome.
managing the stress, so that helps you manage the day-to-day stress,
Who
especially
has
during
stress?
what Christmas is in what, in 5 days?
No, it's not really, is it?
It is.
Is it
Did
5?
I just stress you out?
Oh my God. Oh my God! Wait. Okay. Wait. Let me. Wait. We forgot our breathing exercise to start the show. Now I need it even more.
So on your drive
I'm
to the
gonna have
office,
to
to
do
the
it,
store,
yeah.
make sure you breathe.
Yeah.
Yes. So when
Yeah.
it comes to stress,
Oh,
one thing we
Lord.
want to do is I actually read an article that some people are still paying off bills from last year's Christmas.
Oh, money is not a stress factor, Dr.
Oh my
Ravi.
goodness.
Who
It's
needs
crazy.
money?
So I just
Yeah.
want to tell everyone there, with kids, the kids are going to love opening their presents, but one thing they will never forget is experiences.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
make your holidays.
I'm trying to learn that lesson,
Yeah.
and I spent years of having to have piles under the tree for my kids, but you are right. It always is correct. It's not about buying things.
Yeah.
It's about the moments. You're right.
Like, I'm not that gift person, and everyone has a different type of love language, right?
Yes.
Right. So,
yes.
I'm not saying don't get your significant other or your niece or nephew or kids any presents, but for me, I can't even remember my sixth Christmas what toy I got.
Right.
But I can remember that I saw my uncle for the first time that I had never seen when I was 6.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Those things I will never forget.
You're
Or
right.
meeting my grandparents for the first time.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I agree with you. I mean, we didn't grow up with money, so I know that it was about moments and not money, and I had so many special memories, but you're right. I took the girls ice skating the other night, and it was a lot of work, driving an hour to Palm Beach and getting it done and then coming back. But seeing their expression on their faces and the big smiles and the hugs and the ice cold,
Yes.
rink, that was definitely special. So I am trying to think exactly the way you're saying, because you're right. Because the stress of having to have everything right, the house so clean and decorated,
Wrapping the presents,
and buying
going
them,
through those lines in the stores.
it can
Oh
really
my
wipe you out
goodness,
emotionally,
yes.
physically, spiritually, and you forget what's important. And
Yep.
it happens so fast. I mean,
Mhm.
it really, yes, it's good that you brought that up. I needed a reminder. Thank you. And but the other thing too, I want to make a point of is essential fatty acids.
Yes.
We kind of, I think like sometimes it's all over the media about getting healthy fats, for our heart and our bloodstream, but it's critical to the immune system. I mean, every single cell has a wall of
Fatty
healthy
layer.
fats as a soldiers, like to prevent the bad guys from trying to get into the cells. What is your favorite source of omega-3 fats?
Fish, but you know what? I don't get my fish in every day, so
Yeah.
this is where I need to supplement it.
Yeah, I have to supplement because honestly, I get more freaked out about the quality of the fish that I'm consuming versus the pill. It's like I feel like sometimes the supplements is a little more control versus the dietary fish.
My patient the other day brought me an avocado, so I had that and just ate it like an apple.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Dr. McCall, I think he eats 4 or 7 a day. It's an insane amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had that right before my afternoon shift, just eating an avocado.
Yeah.
High amounts of healthy,
Yep.
fat there.
Yep,
Omega-3s.
and doing particular nuts, not cashews or peanuts, people, but
Yes.
your walnuts, your Brazil nuts, do
Almonds,
macadamia
yes.
nuts. Definitely try to do some nuts that aren't
Try to get it raw
so
too.
conventional.
Yeah.
Yeah, raw if possible. Sometimes I will put them in the oven with a little like Himalayan sea salt to kick them up a
Oh, nice.
notch.
You're making me hungry
and
now.
they taste really good. Yeah, taste super good.
Nice.
All right, we got more. I love how avoid smoking.
Avoid
Do we
smoking.
really still need to say this to people? But now it's avoid jewels.
Yes, avoid jewels. Avoid the
jewels.
vaping.
We were watching a little comedian political show last night, and he kept bringing up jewels, and I swear, I mean, like now it's everywhere. It's
Yes.
just everyone's doing it. Adults, children.
Children.
Yeah, so now we have to say that.
Yes.
Avoid smoking and vaporizing, and
Yeah,
your
and-
lungs are meant for air, not all this junk.
I forgot. I was, I don't know where I was. We were at the mall and I went to the restroom, right? And I, as I'm exiting, the person right next to me was a little kid, and you can actually smell like
The
that
scent.
the scent of a fruit.
Yeah, well, there's like 1,000 different scents now,
Yeah.
so you never know what.
And I'm
yeah.
like, this is a little kid because he exits too,
Yep.
a teenager, and young little kids are doing this.
I know, it's really sad. It's making me sick to my
And they have to
stomach
hide
because I
and do
see
it.
it right in my neighborhood, and it's just and I see it really in family members. So either they don't take the threat seriously, because I hear a lot of times, even in my family, oh, everything will kill you, so what's the point? But jewels, I've never seen anything affect a human's health as quickly as the deterioration that the jewels do. So that we need to like really wake up to this, because we don't have time to play. We don't have time to wonder if it's as bad as the health hippies say, or, you know, this is serious. This can, like 3 months, you know, your child can be in the hospital with a lung issue.
Yes. And
So-
having a lung transplant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
They just actually
exactly.
did one of the first ones from these jewels
Yeah.
and vaping devices.
I know. I think
a
right
double
now
lung transplant.
it's like unfortunate, but now it's really the war of like, whose fault is it? Is it the pens? Is it the vapes? Is it like, who cares? Just stop, you know,
You're in control
smoking
of it.
things that don't belong in your
Yeah.
lungs. You know, I don't know. I like you know, flavorings too, but not to like breathe them into my lungs.
Yeah. Just get some really good
Yeah.
deep breaths in.
Yeah.
Natural deep breaths.
And you know,
like
I
our
have-
exercise.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, that okay. So yeah, I better have you talk about this one. I've been doing Dr. McCullough's 3-minute every day, and all my listeners know, if you feel lazy or couch bound like some others, you know, do Dr. McCullough. Go on YouTube, do Dr. McCullough 3-minute workout. I am telling you, this gives your cardiovascular system a great quick tune-up. There's no excuse for
Boost.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not like gonna injure any joints. I do it on top of my mini rebounder, so I literally have no pressure to my sciatic nerve or my plantar
Nice.
fasciitis. It's like I get no pain and I feel new blood flowing as soon as I
Yeah.
do it.
So one takeaway for this is schedule this in right on Christmas Day after the meal that we're going to
Okay.
be eating, all the sugar. Just schedule a 3-minute, you know, let's have everyone run in place
Yep.
for, you know, 30
Do you
seconds.
remember when families after they ate would all take long walks
Long
together?
walks, look at the Christmas lights in their neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always remember doing that with my mom. I mean, she was extremely social and would always want to talk to like the whole world. But I do remember enjoying getting up, getting out of the house, getting in fresh air and walking. And I feel like no one does
No.
that anymore. You know, it's just, so maybe we can hopefully touch on some souls and hearts today, and people start that tradition. As soon as that meal's over, even before you clean up, go outside,
Get moving.
Yeah, get moving.
A brisk little walk with the family. Watch
Yeah,
your
I
Christmas
love
lights in the
that.
neighborhood.
We did that last night after we all got back. Our neighbor has put so much effort. So if anyone wants to go to Tradition Town Park, our neighbor would love more people to see his home. He put so much effort, but it's one of those synchronized light
with the music. I see that. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
and my husband did help him a lot, and it's breathtaking. He did Star Wars and Polar Express, and I can only imagine a lot of amazing songs. And so that's what we did. We all walked in the brisk cold, you know,
Nice.
a couple blocks to see it, and it felt so good to the body to just move and take those deep breaths.
Good. Yes. So getting more oxygen. in
Getting
the
more
body.
oxygen. Oxygen is good.
Yes.
All right, well, should I bring up this one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I feel like everything, I'm being such a hypocrite. All right, so consume alcohol in moderation. Wonder who's defining moderation these days. Well, you know, the thing is with alcohol, what we have to take serious, which is very sad, this time of year, people are filled with anxiety and depression, whether they're taking trips that cost them money and they're getting stressed about their financial burdens, or the time away, or leaving pets at home while they travel, or seeing family members they might not have gotten along with. All of that tension can already lead to depression and anxiety, and alcohol creates more of that. So that's a problem with like caffeine and alcohol. You're creating more anxiety, more depression. So it's really no benefit to it, because it's not a coping mechanism that works. It doesn't work. So that's a problem. In our minds, we think, have these cocktails and this will get me through, but it doesn't. It usually makes you more
You
aggravated.
step on the ant's nest.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't help any relationships by any means. And so, you know, and what I usually try to do is, like you were mentioning, where you schedule in exercise. Like in my mind, I pre-plan 2 cocktails. I do Tito's club soda with possibly a splash of pomegranate if it's available, and lots of lime to try to help offset
Oh, that's
anything.
a nice cocktail.
Yeah, to me, I never feel unhealthy with it. I feel clear-headed. I can communicate, but just
And you're
with
still
a touch of
socializing.
yeah,
Yeah.
with a touch of relaxation. So if you really feel like this is not the time to consider quit drinking, take the sugar out of your cocktail. It's really important, like we mentioned earlier, sugar lowers your immune system, makes you more susceptible, but also it's a depressant. So you have sugar as the depressant, and then the alcohol is the depressant. No wonder why you hate the holidays. You're basically inducing depression. So definitely work on that one.
Great.
All right. Are you going to do this next one?
Our environmental toxins.
Yeah, because that's
I don't know
one
where
of
to go
my
with that
favorite.
one.
Yeah,
There's so many.
Well, I even heard it last night during dinner. So one teacher posted on Facebook, "Please stop buying us Bed Bath and Beyond
Candles
and candle. What is it? Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body
candles.
Works, yes.
We don't want to breathe in or put this toxic lotion on us anymore.
Yes.
Stop buying us this." And I was like, wow, she's like literally
Amazing.
flat
Yeah,
out saying this. And it's so true because, they look so pretty and they smell so good and they're all sparkly and they're all under $10. So what moms don't say, oh, buy this for the teachers. It's so perfect.
Yep.
But it's so toxic. And you light that up. It's like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
It
Like
is.
that's super dangerous.
Killing
Yeah.
the lungs, decreasing our immune system.
Yep. Yeah, and
leading
this
us
is
to the
all
cold and flu.
proven. These are all proven things that we're saying right now, and people need to stop with the foo-foo, smelly stuff. It's killing them.
Buy a $5 gift card to Nutrition Smart or Joanne's.
Oh yeah, Nutrition World. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
mentioning my competition.
It's
all right.
I said that last.
Yeah,
So they'll
I
remember
love
that.
Nutrition Smart. I used to work for them. So
Do you have gift
yes.
cards?
Do I have what?
Gift cards?
Yes, I do. And I made
Perfect.
gift baskets this year. I can't take credit. Julia, who works for me, made beautiful gift baskets out of beautiful. One is like for wellness, one is for digestion. Everyone has to check them out.
Okay,
And
great
we
gift.
can make other gift baskets as well. So it's all good. Dr. Ravi, have a Merry
Same
Christmas.
to you.
All right. Hopefully I'll see you before then. I
Yes.
probably need it. All right, everyone. Happy holidays. I wish everyone the most amazing week. I'm hoping to be here Thursday. Not positive yet, so stay tuned. All right, have a great week, everybody.
Joanne's World of Nutrition with archives on YouTube under WPSL TV. Don't forget to do some of your Christmas gift shopping at Nutrition World, US 1 across from City Hall, US 1 between Orange Avenue and Avenue A. Safe historic downtown Fort Pierce.